Baili Chongqing continued, that is precisely a power that everyone covets. Baili Chongqing chuckled heartily. Bianjun Wu, hearing this, smirked with a meaningful smile, it's not that simple. Baili Chongqing raised an eyebrow with curiosity, oh, what do you mean? Bianjun Wu said, anyone who wants to acquire some kind of power must pay a corresponding price. Our awakening of special abilities came only after facing life and death situations. It's no different from using our lives in exchange for power. And I've heard that her ability can help others awaken their powers without such a high price. Is there really something so easy in this world? Baili Chongqing grew serious, I also have doubts about this. Bianjun Wu adjusted his glasses and continued, the leaders over there have considered this as well. The military has been studying special beings for a long time, and they all feel that Yuan Kongyi's ability is extraordinarily unimaginable. So, this time we need to conveniently test her ability to see if it truly lives up to such miraculous legends. Baili Chongqing asked, what if it's really as rumored? Bianjun Wu, with his hands in his pockets, said with a profound meaning, if it's indeed true, then from a strategic perspective, her ability would definitely be no less than an Epsilon level power. When these words were spoken, the others present looked horrified. The term Epsilon, for special beings, an extremely grave matter. Generally, only one person in all of China is known to be Epsilon level, and that is the mysterious figure in the Shijing district. It is said that anyone he targets, no matter how far they run, will be killed and cannot escape. No Epsilon-level being has ever appeared in the Jiangnan region. Bianjun Wu hoped that he could develop to the Epsilon level, but due to fundamental deficiencies, he could not approach this level. Thus, Epsilon level became a fantastical existence in the minds of every special being in Jiangnan. Noticing the expressions of everyone, Bianjun Wu gave a faint smile. I'm only suggesting that there is a possibility. However, since we don't fully understand Yuan Kongyi's ability, we cannot make a judgment yet. Baili Chongqing nodded, so, you want to meet her in person and explain her situation, right? That's right, Bianjun Wu replied. Soon, Zheng Yixian came out of the chapel and invited Bianjun Wu to meet Yuan Kongyi. Baili Chongqing saw Yuan Kongyi's figure and thought to himself, is that Yuan Kongyi? Could she really be a strategic-level existence as speculated? Bianjun Wu entered the chapel himself and met a young woman around 20 years old, wearing a red holy robe. The two talked for a long time within the chapel. When Bianjun Wu left the chapel, his face remained as cold as ice, and no one could guess his mood. Baili Chongqing and the others, unable to wait any longer, asked, Captain, what's the verdict? Is Yuan Kongyi truly an Epsilon? Bianjun Wu replied coldly, it's impossible to determine the status of a special being just by looking at them. However, he changed his tone. This girl definitely has some issues. Everyone was surprised. Meng Xiyu asked with curiosity, what kind of issues? Bianjun Wu pointed to his own temple. Here. Everyone looked astonished. Is it a mental issue? A major sect like Baishui sect, and the leader has a mental issue? Baili Chongqing chuckled, after all, to become a sect leader, one has to either deceive and seize wealth or be a blindly fanatic lunatic. Bianjun Wu completely agreed, exactly. When talking to Yuan Kongyi, I could sense her fanaticism towards the sect. She truly believes that there are divine beings in this world. This, in turn, surprised Bianjun Wu. It's no wonder other affairs of the sect are managed by Zheng Yixian. After all, a devotee with such pure belief in the divine is either overly idealistic or excessively fanatic, making it difficult to maintain the stability of a major sect. Bianjun Wu said calmly, in any case, we will slowly consider her abilities later. Once we resolve the zombie issue, we'll have plenty of time for that. Next, we have more important matters to discuss. Soon after, representatives from other factions arrived one after another. According to Bianjun Wu's arrangement, each person brought their strongest forces, including battle armor, artillery, and military equipment for most of their combat members. All of them gathered at the Baishui sect's territory, creating a grand scene. When all the bases had arrived, it placed immense pressure on the Baishui sect. Zhang Yi and his group also arrived. Zhang Yi got out of the car and then helped Zhou Kei'er out, saying, stay with me, don't go anywhere. I will arrange a safe place for you to wait. Facing Zhang Yi's tenderness, Zhou Kei'er happily nodded. I will follow your instructions. A group of people headed towards the Bai Shui sect's building, a clearly religious structure, which was the main cathedral. On the way, Zhang Yi met his old classmate, Xingtian. Xingtian, Zhang Yi greeted. Xingtian replied, "Hello, Zhang Yi." Zhang Yi asked, "Why did you arrive later than us? Considering the distance, the Qingpu base is clearly closer than ours." Xingtian smiled. There were many issues to handle at the factory. We're not like you, who can spend freely. Fewer people make things much more convenient. Zhang Yi frowned. The two exchanged a few brief words without much interaction. None of the people present understood why Bian Junwu had summoned them. They weren't particularly close personally, so there was nothing much to discuss. Upon arriving at Bai Shui sect, someone immediately came to guide them. Zhang Yi, along with Zhou Kei'er and Xingtian, entered the cathedral. The main cathedral had once been one of the most famous landmarks in Tianhai City. Zhang Yi had visited it before, but he was not a believer, so he had only come to admire the classical European architecture. As they entered the cathedral, they found that everyone else had already arrived. Bian Junwu, Zheng Yixian, Xiao Hanlian, and Wei Dingai had all found their seats in the cathedral. However, there were many faces in the cathedral that Zhang Yi had never seen before. One of them was a woman dressed in a red holy robe. Her solemn and devout appearance, coupled with her youthful face, created a stark contrast. Zhang Yi immediately guessed her identity. The only person who could appear here at this time must be the leader of Bai Shui sect, Yuan Konye. Zhang Yi couldn't help but look intently at her eyes. After all, according to legend, she possessed the ability to help others awaken their powers. It was Xingtian's first time seeing Yuan Konye as well, and he couldn't help but say to Zhang Yi, "She's so young, she looks like someone who hasn't matured yet." Zhang Yi glanced at him. "Mind your phrasing and control your instincts." Xingtian was startled. "What are you talking about? You know me since we were kids, I've always preferred older women." Zhang Yi replied calmly, "I've heard that when you worked at the factory, you were involved with a woman 12 years older than you, the owner of Massa's shop, and you were together for 8 years. We lived in a small neighborhood for many years, so rumors like this inevitably reach my ears." Xingtian's face darkened, as if he had been thrown into a furnace. What do you know? Back then, I was young, and she was still charming. We both willingly loved each other." Zhang Yi glanced at him. "I'm not saying you're wrong. After all, lacking maternal affection isn't a grave fault." Xingtian was so angry he wanted to fight Zhang Yi. "You little brat." However, considering his current status, he could only suppress his anger. "Zhang Yi, you don't understand love. You truly are a cold, emotionless person." Zhang Yi's eyes flashed with a hint of recollection, then he sneered, "Love? Ha ha. Love is the cruelest thing in the world." As they approached the others, everyone looked at them with indifference, and the two stopped arguing. They each found their own seats. Bian Junwu didn't welcome them but directly addressed the events of the previous night. "Last night, we killed a zombie king. The fact has proven that after the zombie king was killed, the entire horde of zombies lost control, and the rats following the zombie horde became headless flies." Xiao Hanlian thought to herself, just as expected. She also knew that the zombie king killed last night must have been operating near their Yongsheng base. Bian Junwu continued, "Therefore, to resolve the zombie problem in Tianhai City, we need to eliminate all the zombie kings, those who control the zombie hordes." Hearing this, the team's quick elimination of a zombie king left everyone in shock. Zhang Yi thought, indeed, they have found a way to deal with the zombie hordes. Although he had anticipated this, the high efficiency of their actions still amazed Zhang Yi. After all, they had previously attempted to penetrate underground and planned to kill a zombie king but had failed. Xingtian asked curiously, "What exactly is a zombie king? Could you explain in more detail?" Naturally, Bian Junwu, needing their support to eliminate the zombie hordes, would not withhold information on this matter. Bian Junwu picked up a black bag containing a corpse from the floor and placed it on the ground in front of the cathedral. He unzipped it himself, revealing a humanoid creature covered in white fur. Bian Junwu pointed to it and said, "This is it." Everyone stood up and approached the zombie king. When they saw the mysterious form of the zombie king, there was a sense of disappointment. "This is the zombie king?" It looked like an ordinary white-furred monkey. They had expected the Zombie King to be a more mysterious and terrifying creature. But now, it looked ordinary, not unusual, resembling a large, fur-covered zombie. Zhang Yi asked, "Is this thing powerful?" Bian Junwu replied, "The Zombie King can control the zombie hordes. Its intelligence is relatively high, not much different from a human, but its combat ability is very weak." Zhang Yi nodded, sighing in relief. As long as it didn't have exceptionally strong combat capabilities, dealing with it would be much easier. He had thought the combat strength of a zombie king would be much stronger than that of a regular armored zombie. If that were the case, dealing with it would be extremely difficult. Bian Junwu explained their method of killing the zombie king. The zombie hordes attack humans every day, but the zombie king itself is very weak and doesn't leave its hiding place. It hides deep within the subway tunnels. Therefore, we need someone outside to lure the zombie hordes. Then, an elite team will infiltrate the subway tunnels to kill the zombie king, thus resolving the issue with the main zombie army. Once the zombie king is killed, the remaining zombies will be much easier to handle, even in large numbers, as they will not pose a significant threat. Upon hearing this, Zheng Yixian realized, "So you mean we need to use the entire Baishui sect as bait? Lure the zombie hordes to attack, and then you'll go underground to deal with the zombie king?" Zheng Yixian's eyes flashed with a hint of malice. Yuan Kongyi's eyes also showed a flicker of uncertain light.